Hey guys, quick video here. I just wanted to touch on the fact of if I was going to be playing Starfield tomorrow on the 1st or if I was going to be waiting until the 6th. And also just kind of talking about my reasoning behind that decision. So first things first, I don't want to, tickle your balls or something like that and not give you the answer right away. Uh, Unfortunately, I do not suffer from FOMO, and I do have a brain in my skull, so I will be waiting until the 6th to play Starfield. I know, you're gonna call me a brokey or whatever, but I mean, you can Google what a medical lab scientist makes and have a decent idea of what I make. It's pretty accurate. And I live with 5 other people, so let's just say my monthly expenses are divided by 6 people. They're not very high either. I'm certainly not a brokey by any means, but it's just a business practice that I don't agree with. That's really all that it comes down to. And for those who don't know what FOMO is, it's fear of missing out. It's something that is a marketing tactic that is particularly effective against low intelligence individuals that are incapable of possessing any amount of critical thinking or patience capabilities. And as a result, they will just purchase stuff because, oh, big streamer playing early, I can play early. I see other people playing early, I gotta play early, so they cough up the money or whatever. Now, fortunately, I do not suffer from this, okay? And it is a good thing because it seems like this is just a business practice that's going to be popularized through the entire industry. We saw this with Hogwarts Legacy. You could pay a little bit extra. I think it was $10. You could pay $10 extra, and you could play the game, a few days early. Then the big one we just saw with Diablo 4, I think that was $20 or maybe $30 extra, and you get to play the game early. Now with Starfield, it's $30 extra. You buy the premium edition of the game, which is $100 USD, and you get to play 5 days early. But really, it's not $30 extra. It's actually $100 extra. And here's my reasoning behind that statement is that this game is not releasing on the Switch and it's not releasing on the PlayStation, which means it's only releasing on Xbox and PC. And both of those devices are Game Pass compatible, which means since this is a day one Game Pass title, or day one in quotation marks, right? That on the 6th, this game will be available for everybody with Game Pass completely free. We say free, but really you have to have Game Pass. But Game Pass is so fucking cheap. There's a million ways to game the system. I, for one, usually spend around $50 to get an entire year of Game Pass. I do that through purchasing codes on eBay and other sites and then redeeming those codes in the Microsoft Store. And it usually comes around to about $50 for an entire year of Game Pass. So, really, when you think about it, Starfield Premium, in order to play the game 5 days early, it's actually $100 because if you just waited, then you wouldn't even have to spend the 70. You could just play it on Game Pass. And this game is just all mystery. I'm going to be honest. I have absolutely zero faith that this game is going to be good. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but I'm just saying that Bethesda has a very bad track record for releasing polished titles. We all know that. All of us that are Fallout fans or Elder Scrolls fans, we all know that Bethesda games are jank as fuck. And it usually takes upwards of a year for them to lose a lot of that jank. But on launch, they are particularly jank. And sure, a lot of the bugs are quite funny, but a lot of the bugs are not. They are progress impeding and experience ruining. So I just have no idea. Could this game be polished and absolutely great? Sure. But Bethesda does not have the greatest track record. And if a company with a good track record like CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk or Larian Studios with Baldur's Gate 3 can completely botch a release of a title, then you bet your sweet ass a company with a shitty record like Bethesda is probably going to botch a big launch like this. So for me, even past the whole ideology of spending $100, because, I'll be honest, $100, it's not the most money to me. But the business practice side of it is the part that is just crazy. Like, if you were to tell me, hey, you can spend $100 right now and you can have, a piece of this pie that everybody's talking about. Everybody's going to be eating this pie, right? Today. Or you could wait 5 days and have the pie in 5 days. And the pie in 5 days is actually just going to be an objectively superior version of the pie. And it's going to be free. Or maybe not free because, it's Game Pass, but it's going to be like a couple bucks for the pie. I would sit there and I would say, so you're saying I can have a piece of worse pie today for $100 plus tax, or I could wait 5 days, have a better pie for like $1 or $2. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait $1 or $2 to eat that piece of pie, and that's kind of just Starfield, right? It's like, could I pay $100 and play the game 5 days early? Absolutely, I could. Or could I wait for 5 days and play it on Game Pass for free with extra patches, because they're going to have the day one patch, and that's what everybody's going to be playing on the first. And then they're going to have another patch, on the 6th that irons out a lot of the issues that the people playing it on the first are having. So you're actually, by waiting, just playing an objectively superior version of the game, because it's likely going to have another patch that's fixing and remedying a lot of the, bugs in the game. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of just a no-brainer for me, but I think it's a no-brainer because I have a brain. And I think a lot of the people that are going to be purchasing this, you can sort of see it as a barometer for general intelligence, because uh if you log in on the first and you see like a bunch of your friends playing it and stuff, they're probably not the smartest tools in the shed. And yes, that is supposed to be a funny comment. I know it's sharpest tools in the shed. It's supposed to be funny. Anyway, it's like saying rocket surgeon. Okay, it's a play on the words. Anyway, I've had somebody call me out on that before when I said brightest tool in the shed. They're like, actually, it's sharpest tool in the shed. It's like, yeah, no fucking shit, dude. That's the point. It's just like when people say, you're not a rocket surgeon. It's because it's a mixture of rocket scientist and brain surgeon. Anyway. So yeah, I just don't really see the point. I'll be honest. I still haven't finished Baldur's Gate 3. I am at like over 100 hours deep into Act 3, and I'm still not done with it. And I still haven't finished Armored Core 6. I'm pretty close to finishing Armored Core 6, though, so these next few days will definitely give me the opportunity to finish Armored Core 6. And I know it's going to be unfortunate because I'm going to be unable to get the review out in a timely manner, but let's be real, I never get reviews out in timely manners, so it kind of just is what it is. Instead of in an ideal world, my reviews would help people in making an informed decision, on purchasing a product. But instead, really what they are, since I get them out so late, is if you're curious what I thought of a game, there you go. That's really what it is. That's what it comes down to, is like, oh, hey, what did Zach think of this game? Oh, let's watch his review of it, a month later or whatever. Like, it's sad, but I mean, I work a full-time job and I'm a full-time student, like there's only so many games I can play. And unfortunately, I was burdened with being an extrovert. So if I have a choice to sit down and play, Armored Core 6 alone, like a sad dweeb, or play with my friends on some Valorant or some Apex or something, and get to hang out with my friends and be social. Unfortunately, since I am an extroverted person, I choose to hang out with my friends. It is what it is. It's a tough burden to bear. Shout out to the introverts out there. You're just winning. I'll be honest, you guys are winning. I really wish I could have as much fun just sitting and playing a single player game as playing even a shitty game with my friends, but I'm just not built like that, unfortunately. Um, Single player games for me are for when everybody else is offline. I suppose it's also important to put out that, with the premium edition of the game, you aren't only getting the early access of Starfield, you're also getting some shitty skins. You're getting, let's see, a soundtrack, an art book, and the Shattered Space story expansion. But here's my thought process. I think it's fucking stupid if you haven't even played a minute of the game and the reviews aren't even out of the game to be even somewhat interested in a story expansion. We don't even know what the story is. The game could be terrible. So it's selling me on DLC that's God knows how far into the future is just fucking dumb. Especially when you consider that by the time this story expansion is coming out, I'm sure there will be a bunch of sales on the game and you'll be able to get it, much cheaper with the expansion. So yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to be waiting until the 6th, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about that because it's kind of a funny thing. People complain about the gaming industry all the time. They complain about microtransactions, they complain about predatory business behavior, and then they go ahead and they purchase stuff like this that is literally predatory business behavior that's preying upon them for being FOMO. And then they wonder why the industry is the way that it is. It's like, well, sorry to tell you, man, but you are why the industry is the way that it is. But unfortunately, there's just so many people that do this stuff. There's so many people that throw their money away without a second thought that we're going to keep seeing these, predatory business practices in the future. And it's the reason why, I don't really talk about this shit too much anymore. Previously, I used to rant and rave about, oh my God, this game is $70. It has microtransactions, yada, yada. See Diablo 4 as an example. But nowadays, I'm a 26-year-old man, right? I'm an adult, turning 27 in a couple months here. And yeah, if retards want to spend their money retardedly, whatever. I mean, whatever. Does it suck because they're screwing over the entire industry? Yeah. It's why I've never been a fan of, my friends in the past have said stuff like, oh, well, what's it matter, how somebody spends their money? They work hard for their money and stuff like that. And I completely agree. But I also think that you can absolutely judge people on it, especially when it affects you, because when people are purchasing these things, it's not only affecting them, it's sending a letter to the developers and the publishers saying that this type of behavior is okay so that they can fuck over everyone. And I've made the analogy before, it's not just a dildo. They're not just putting, Activision or Bethesda or whoever's dildo in their ass. And instead it's a double-sided dildo, right? They're putting it in their ass, but every time they're pushing back on that dildo, it's going into my ass. It's going into the industry's ass, even if we don't want it. So they're actively screwing over the entire industry. And that's the reason why I used to have an issue with it. But now I'm sort of just a doomer, and I've accepted that things are only going to get worse because people have no backbone and they will keep buying just stupid shit They will just continue to buy it regardless. And it just is what it is, man. It is what it is. You can complain, you can cry about it, or you can kind of just accept that this is the nature of the universe, and these people are going to actively ruin our pastime. So yeah, that is what it is. But thank the gods, we still have the Chads over at FromSoft delivering $60 fully polished and finished products with no microtransactions. Absolute Chads over at FromSoft. Anyway, this video has been longer than I thought, but those are my thoughts on paying extra and even pre-ordering for stuff, and especially Starfield. I just don't think it makes any fucking sense personally, but yeah, have a good one. Take care. See all of you in Starfield on the 6th like a normal human being, and see all of you in probably Armored Core and stuff in the next day or two so I can hopefully finish that up. Okay. Bye-bye.